With the championship battle heating up, every point counts. Hello and welcome everyone to the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship and to round number 5 here at the Autodrome in Most at the Czech Truck Grand Prix. It's good to be back here and it's good to see the reverse grid lined up here and also lots of fans taking their opportunity to get a selfie, and then we're going to see an epic battle here at the legendary circuit of Most, which is technically very demanding, but every team had their its and bits at the first race, and since they've been testing ahead of the season, everyone knows this track so well. But of course, lots of things happened, and it's going to be explained by our lovely commentators, Jess Draycott, Joachim Ebi Eberts and Fonsis Sebrian. Welcome to y'all.
Thank you, Christina. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the next round of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Just earlier today, we had round number 17 of the season, or the 17th race of the season at least. And it was a very interesting affair. Down into turn 1, there was a little bit of drama as a little bit late onto the brakes was Sascha Lenz clipping the side of Andre Kurzim. Also contact with Jochen Hahn in the mix as well. Luckily, Andre did not come back onto the track in front of anybody and kept it nice and tidy. The order was shuffled up instantly though, Kurzim and Albacete both losing a number of positions, and it meant that some of the drivers had to recuperate. There was a great fight between Steffi Halm and Sascha Lenz, Sascha eventually getting by and taking 3rd position on the road, while Jose Eduardo Rodriguez did everything he could to chase down John Newell for 2nd place in the Chrome category. He would eventually get through in the later stages of the race after a small mistake from John into turns 1 and 2, but Albacete was not able to get past from there. At the very front though, it was Norbert Kisch who took the victory, lights to flag once again, ahead of Jochen Hahn, and then Sascha Lenz in 3rd position. Mark Taylor taking his first win of the season when it comes to the Chrome category, ahead of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, and, of course, John Newell in 3rd. But the weekend is very much in full swing here at Autodrome Most in Czechia. It's been a lot of fun so far, and the weather is certainly matching the positive atmosphere. Earlier on in the day, though, the drivers had their autograph session down in the fan village, as we call it, inside the paddock, and Christina caught up with some of our drivers.
So this is the German corner of the autograph session. We do have here Clemens Hecker. So how do you experience this famous track here in Most?
Yeah, the track is beautiful. So we know him a lot because we're here every year for testing. And so right now for the race, we had some issues this morning with my engine computer. So at 130 it stopped the speed, and then I have to go in the pit lane, switch off the engine, switch off the power, put it back on, and then it was okay. And right now the team is looking where the issue is, and now for the next race it will be worked.
That sounds good. So he will be back joining us for the reverse grid, which is adding an extra layer of excitement, Steffen Faas. Of course, race number 2 on a Saturday is always exciting. Why?
Ja, einfach sicher durch die Runde zu kommen, weil Sonntag sonst wieder fürs Qualifying alles neu hingeschraubt werden muss und alles wieder instand gesetzt werden muss.
So he says it's absolutely important to get safely through that reverse grid race, because we do see another race, of course, on Sunday, 2 races if it's going really well. And so he's taking care of the truck, and his team does also. And I'm taking care of much more autographs.
Fantastic stuff. Great to hear from our drivers enjoying themselves during the autograph session. It's great to get up close and personal with all of the fans, and that's exactly what they can do here on the grid walk as well. All of the personnel and a lot of the fans make their way onto the grid to see these machines up close. And as you can see there from the front row of the grid, with this reverse grid in force, it is John Newell on pole position on the left-hand side with Antonio Albacete on his right. Let's go back down to Christina, who is there on the grid for us.
Absolutely. In the Chrome category, all eyes on Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. It's not only in the grid where you can see the fans, but also the drivers outside the truck. So it's an important race weekend, of course, for you. It's round number 5. How will you continue your journey?
Yeah, it's a very important weekend for me. I focus in the points, and we'll see. In first race, I take the 6th place, and it's very good for me for the championship. And we'll see what's happened in the second race.
Absolutely, and you can see Mark Taylor alongside, and I saw you with your team like having a sneak peek on the truck, but it's also about the driver's perspective. So you in your Chrome category, you get along very well, you're having a chat offside the races, but how is it to compete in this category?
Yeah, it's very good. It's a very good category, very good pilot, and is very competitive. And is important for the championship. Is a good pilots, good drivers, and it's good.
How important is it for you to always see also young faces here, like for example Bradley Smith entering the tournament?
Yeah, it's very important for the championship. Is new guys, and new face, and new drivers, good pilots, and is very good for the championship.
Absolutely. Good luck then for the race. Muito obrigada. And so we're heading back to chess right now, our commentators.
Thank you, Christina. You can see that the sunshine is absolutely belting down on the circuit there in Czechia. Quite a low sunshine at the moment, though. It's only an hour ahead of where I am in the UK right now. 10 to 3 here in the UK, so 10 to 4 there. But it seems like a bit more of an evening setting. As you can see, though, a lot of the fans out there on the banks down the start-finish straight. They really do line the entire circuit around here, do the fans at the Czech Truck Grand Prix. They all really do love it here. There's Steffi Halm getting pictures with some of the officials as well down there, some of the marshals. Steffi prepared for another great race here this afternoon. She's going to be starting this one a couple of rows back from the front, but not very far at all. She finished the last race fourth on the grid, fourth on the circuit, so she'll be alongside Sasha Lenz. And we're going to go down to Christina, who's going to have a word for us.
Absolutely, and I'm trying to get forward to see Steffi Halm here adjusting. Of course, this is very important. Of course, the equipment is ready and set. How prepared are you for this race?
Well prepared, you know. Now we just wait a little bit until we go in because the temperature increased a little bit. So, yeah, it's better to stay a little bit outside. No, everything is prepared. We are just waiting until the grid walk is finished and we are able to start the race.
I always admire every one of you because the fans are going around. I'm asking silly questions over here, but you stay in the focus right now. How important is it, or how many minutes do you need to get in the zone, or is it the formation lap, or when do you start to get really prepped for the race?
No, let's say it started when I go into the truck when I'm in the tent. So now I'm on a level which is not completely focused, but also focused, and it's no problem to talk to you or to the others or take some pictures in that time. But then when the 10-minute board comes out, I go in the truck and then I focus myself. So I only have my teammates, my mechanics around me. So we have some small speech, but not much. And the 10 minutes is enough to calm down and to be focused for the race.
That sounds very good for us because I always wondered if we were going on your nerves, but we don't. Of course, did you see the moment when the team is really like screaming in the microphone, the go? How important is that momentum also for you from the outside?
It's very important, you know, because it depends on the position you are, if you can see the lights or not. So if he's sleeping, I will not have a good start. So it's a team sport. You will not win without the mechanics. And it starts in the preparation of the truck, then the signal, which comes through the radio. And yeah, it is very important.
Thank you very much. And we give it a go also.
Thank you very much to Steffi for having a word with Christina there. It's always great to hear her thoughts before the races get underway. And there is Jochen Hahn ready to go in the cockpit of the number 2 machine. You can see just how bright it is down there on the grid. And it's going to go quiet in just a second because I'm going to shut up and we're going to welcome our international TV audience from around the world who are going to join us in just a sec. So give us a few moments and we'll welcome them to the show, and I'll be right back.
This track is known for its challenging layout. Hello and welcome everyone to the round number 5 here at the Autodrome in Most. As you can see, slightly windy conditions, but still very, very hot here on the grid. This is why every driver tries to step out the truck a bit and get a bit of a fresh air. But right now we do see the drivers getting ready for race number 2 at this weekend. And it's the reverse grid time. And as you can see here at the front row, we do have Antonio Albacete. He will start from pole position, which is absolutely spectacular for him, but which also means that he finished 8th and the first race. But we're going to have everything explained for you right now, and we're going to welcome our commentators for you also.
Thank you, Christina. Hello, everybody. Chaz Draycott here for the 2024 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. We're here for the 18th race in 2024 here from Most in Czechia. Really looking forward to getting this one underway. And a quick apology to anybody that joined us on the YouTube stream just before the international TV audience. I said it was John Newell on pole position earlier. Of course, it's not. It's Antonio Albacete. Here is the circuit that they're going to be racing around this afternoon. The lovely Autodrome Most. I adore this circuit so much. There's no clue whatsoever on what the weather is ever going to do here, but with 21 corners of very differing radiuses and hard braking zones, this place is a massive challenge. It's not particularly a wide circuit either for our trucks. You can get 3 wide down the start finish straight, but realistically that's probably one of the only sectors of the track where you can fit 3 of these trucks side by side. So a bit of overtaking here and there is not quite the easiest thing to do, so drivers have to really have their wits about them and be brave on the brakes and think about momentum out of the corner to get a move done around this track. But we're back after the summer break with just 3 race meetings, including this one, to go. We head to Le Mans in France in a couple of weeks' time, and then a week after that we finish the season near the start of October in Jarama. This is how the grid will be then. So the top 8 finishing positions from race 1 earlier today have been switched around. So Antonio Albacete will certainly have a thumbs up for pole position with John Newell alongside him. He's ahead of his chrome rivals Jose Eduardo Rodriguez and Mark Taylor. Steffi Halm will start from 5th alongside Sasha Lenz. Jochen Hahn and Norbert Kisch will do battle from the 4th row of the grid ahead of Stefan Faas and Andrei Kurzim, who eventually finished the race earlier in 10th after he was off at turn 1. Louis Riquenco will start from 11th. Bradley Smith will be 12th. And Clemens Hecker had to come into the pit lane at the start of the previous race, so hopefully no further issues for him and the team this time round. They had a bit of a tough time at the Nürburgring as well, so they'll be hoping that it's a bit of a straightforward procedure this time. As you can see, though, glorious weather here at Most, and the sun is very much shining on a very fun and busy weekend. What we're going to do, though, is just look at a bit of the fun from the autograph session earlier on today, where Christina caught up with Norbert Kisch and Andrei Kurzim.
So we do have a small language situation here. Norbert Kisch is learning some German words from Andrei Kurzim.
Was machen Sie? Was machst du? Was machst du?
So what are you doing here?
Yeah, we're here for some signatures for the fans and yes, some spectators. Yeah, a lot of work now.
A lot of selfies. Yeah, this is what was machen Sie hier? Because that was the incident of the...
Was machst du?
Yeah, the beginning was I have no space.
You had the whole gravel trap.
Yeah.
And could you please repeat the sound that you made as you saw Andrei Kurzim right now passing by? The sound that you made as he was... But how was it for you? Of course, you getting more and more experience and you need to control that. And you see, I can't get through and I just need to pass by Norbert Kisch. How did you react in that situation?
Yeah, I know. Sasha gives me no space and then I jump it up and I don't have the control for this moment and I go through the gravel and I know, okay, the trucks are coming and yes, but everything was okay. No crash after the first corner. Was not the best start, but okay, what can we do now?
Absolutely, and we do know you as a very fierce battler at the reverse grid races, always. So 3 more chances for him to get into more points for you, for Andre Kursum. And absolutely, thank you very much for that inside perspective, all the sounds we do here are just from our commentators. So we are ready for some more race action.
We absolutely are. Thank you very much, Christina. Great to hear from Andre Kursum and Norbert Kish. Very scary moment for Norby earlier on, and of course for Andre as well, with the truck jumping up into the air like that. But luckily he was able to continue, and Norby managed to avoid the number 11 machine coming back on to the road. We're going to go back down onto the grid, though. As you can see there in the beautifully bright clothing, Christina is ready with Antonio Albacete at the front of the grid.
But ever wondered how to get in those giant truck? I will show you, and I need to secure myself. We have a letter here. Hello, Antonio. This is the first time I really that up high and can see directly in the eyes of the driver right now. So you're starting from pole, and I can see the sky is clear there. The view is beautiful, and you want to keep that. No one in front of you. How?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to, but yeah, it's going to be difficult. It's a lot of heat, and the tires are going to suffer. Norby is very fast, and if he can get through the field, he will catch me for sure, But I will try. I will try to do my best, and for sure I will try to win the race. It will be nice.
How many times do you have? You have here the rear monitor, of course. How many views, perspectives do you have during a race? In which kind of seconds do you look at one another?
Yeah, no, I mean, I have a monitor and I have the mirrors, so I can see a little bit of the back, so I will keep my eyes on the mirrors, but I will focus on the front. I will focus to have a good rinse if I can get through the first corner in first position, and then see what happens.
And as you can see, we're very, very high here. This is the perspective almost of a driver right now, so this is also interesting for me to see. Thank you very much. I'm coming down right now. Cheers, don't worry.
Thank you, Christina. Yeah, it's great to see actually how high up the machines are. I was lucky enough to be in the passenger seat with Antonio Albacete driving at the Nürburgring a couple of seasons ago. And it's amazing the difference it makes to, I mean, I get horrific motion sickness whenever I've been out in any sort of racing machine. I've always felt ill afterwards. But in the trucks, it was brilliant because being so high up, it takes away a lot of the momentum and the sort of idea of being thrown around so much in the machine. It's very, very strange how different it feels to be in one of these amazing trucks. It feels good to be in the Ford F-Max as well, I can tell you that for free. I've done many a lap of a circuit in this thing. The inspection lap is just to make sure there's nothing untoward on the circuit or anything around the circuit that could cause the race to be delayed. We've got our wonderful May Fisher driving the official truck of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. This orange F-Max joins its sister vehicle in the paddock over the course of the weekend. The other version is a blue and white example in the same livery, and May drives this fantastic orange version around the track before all of our races all across Europe. I believe May's actually dyed her hair pink for this weekend as well. I'm pretty sure it was blonde at the Nürburgring, but she's gone back to having bright pink hair for this round of the series. Maybe a bit of a contrast to the bright orange of this official truck, but still, it's a great looking bit of kit is the F-Max. And you see now all of the engineers, mechanics make their way back in to the pit lane. They're going to be ready to call the start of the race. Jill Mollenhoff making her way in there with Sven Volter as well. Sven was having a good old laugh with Tim Frost earlier on in the day in the previous race. Don't forget, this is the second race of the weekend. We have 4 of them over the course of a race weekend in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. We've got qualifying coming up tomorrow morning as well. Local time in the UK, it'll be 8:45 AM. That's when it's planned for. 9:45 locally to Autodrom Moss, or if you're in mainland Europe. And we'll have race 1 just before midday, and then we will have the final race of the weekend at about 3:30 tomorrow. That's UK time, sorry. So in mainland Europe, it'll be 4:30 for race 2, and about 1 o'clock in the afternoon for race 1. But as you see now, all of the personnel, all of the officials are now off the grid. The 1-minute board was just shown a moment ago, and we will begin the formation lap for this next race this season. 28 races in total planned for 2024 across 7 race meetings, and this is going to be the 18th of them. We now wait for the Iveco S-Way pace truck to lead us round the circuit with our very own Frank the Tank driving the beautiful machine. There it is, hopping off the line. There's the thumbs up from Rolf Werner in the bottom right of your shot there to say all good. Off you go. And the HVO powered machines roll away from the grid. We don't do standing starts in this championship. Let's just put it this way, that the clutches would not last on these machines with the amount of torque and power that would have to be put through them. And obviously the aspect of safety comes in as well. You have to make sure that there's no trucks stalling or stationary on the grid. It's more safe to have them all running at a similar speed by the time they get going. The pace truck you see here is bio-LNG powered. It can reduce the emissions by up to 95%, and as a driver you don't notice any difference in how it operates. And Iveco have very gracefully provided us with this gorgeous pace truck and another sister vehicle as well for the campaign, and have been doing for a few years now as the partnership continues to remain strong with Iveco, and we thank them for their support. Antonio Albacete starts on the front row of the grid then on pole position alongside John Newell after the two of them finished 8th and 7th respectively in today's earlier race. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez and Mark Taylor will both be hungry for victories in the Chrome class from there, starting 3rd and 4th overall on the grid. John Newell right in front of them. Steffi Halm and Sasha Lenz had a great battle in the earlier race. We're going to hope for more of that from them, from row 3 of the grid. And then we have, of course, Jochen Hahn and Norbert Kisch. 11 titles on just one row of the grid. Behind them we have Stefan Fass starting on the inside line from 9th position. Andre Curzin will start from P10. He's going to be hoping for more after qualifying really well yesterday. He lined up 4th on the grid for the earlier race. Louis Requenco will start from 11th spot alongside Bradley Smith in truck number 33. And then on the back row of the grid, on his own, is Heinrich Clemens Hecker starting in 13th position, hoping for a much better race this time round. He had to visit the pit lane at the end of lap 1 earlier. I didn't quite hear what that was all about, actually, so hopefully no major issue. The truck is out there on the circuit. He did continue in the race, so fingers crossed it's nothing serious and nothing that's going to hinder him for the final race of the day. As you can see, though, they're all now creeping their way around the circuit. They're actually still at quite the high speed, to be fair, but due to the size of the machines, it doesn't always look like they're going that quickly when they make their way around the formation lap. I can tell you, though, that Frank really puts that Iveco through its paces. The bumper bars nearly scraping along the floor at every opportunity. He's a very good driver, is Frank. He's scared the life out of me many a time in that Iveco. It's a good way to cure a hangover as well in that thing. Have the window open and cane it around a circuit. But there is our beautiful field, very well presented race trucks, all of the examples in our field. It's one of the things that the teams and drivers take the most pride in, is that their trucks are all well presented and just kept clean and looking their best over the course of not just a race weekend but the entire season. It's definitely not a messy grid or a scruffy grid. All of them look so good all the time. But it's Antonio Albacete and John Newell on the front row of the grid, the two MANs side by side. It's another pair of MANs after that. There are the race engineers looking at the lights, ready to call the shots when the teams have to go. And Albacete will determine the pace from the inside of the grid, and they hop and are away. You can see the cabs of the trucks leaning back as they get on the power down towards turn 1. It looks like Albacete has completely got rid of the overlap to John Newell. We'll have to see. Bradley Smith's on the brakes a little bit early just to make sure there's no contact into anybody in front. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez tries to go for second place with John Newell. Mark Taylor's had to skip across the inside of the corner. John's gone wide, and he's tipped into the gravel by Jose Eduardo Rodriguez from the front row of the grid. And he's come to a stop there, and that's going to be beached. I think John just ran a little bit wide through turn 2, and then it hooked him around the front of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. Jochen Hahn's gained a bunch of places already. Norbert Kisch has gained a few as well. He's side by side with Stefan Fass, and now Mark Taylor as they go through the left-hander, then into the right at turn 7. This is now turn 8. The little left-hander here is turn 9, then the hairpin at turn 10. Norby late on the brakes as he dares, round the outside, tries to keep the momentum, and he will get the run on Mark on the exit. Yes, he does. But big contact between John Newell and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez means that John is stuck in the gravel trap. I'm not sure if that will need recovering and whether the race will be red flagged as a result, because it was in quite the precarious position. We'll see what the stewards and the officials decide. But it's Antonio Albacete leading from Steffi Halm in second place. And then Jochen Hahn in third. And Sascha Lenz is currently fourth. Norbert Kiss already into fifth position as well. So a number of, well, actually all 4 trucks from the top 4 earlier on have gained a handful of positions each. Andre Kurzim's gained a couple as well from 10th on the grid. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez is down to 9th. Heinrich Clemens Hecker is 10th. Smith and Rikuenko, the remaining 2. It's Mark Taylor still leading in the Chrome class again as well after that contact took both of his main rivals out of the picture. As Jochen Hahn has gone down the inside of Steffi Halm already into turn 20. Sascha Lenz can see a gap as well. He wants a bit of that also. Steffi now sort of stuck in the middle there. She got a better run than Jochen out of the final corner. They'll all fan out. There's no point sitting in the hot air behind one another or any form of slipstream because they have to stop when they get to 100 miles an hour. And the incident is understandably under investigation. And there is John Newell's truck at the side of the road. You can see it's just fiberglass bodywork. Not that it means that it's any less of a pain in the backside to repair, unfortunately, for those guys. Antonio Albacete leads. That section is covered by yellow flags, which is good, so it's not actually brought a stop to the race, but that section will continue to be under yellow flags for the rest of the race, so drivers won't be making any overtaking manoeuvres out of that part of the track. You can see just how hot it is, though. I mean, all of the trucks are absolutely glowing in the heat as they make their way around this track. We've not really had it this hot before at Most, especially since I've been commentating in the past few years as well. It's always been a little bit gloomy and a little bit humid, but never as hot as this. Jochen Hahn now starting to streak away a little bit from Steffi Halm. Sascha Lenz wanting to put her under pressure and get onto another podium spot. That would be his 10th podium of the year. Norbert Kiss just behind, currently on a total of 16 podiums, 14 of those race victories so far. Back down the hill they go after turn 15, the long left at turn 16, one of the most pivotal parts of the circuit because it sets you up for this run back up the hill. Jochen Hahn sideways on the exit of there, chasing down his long-term sparring partner Antonio Albacete. Antonio won the final race of the weekend at the Nürburgring. And he and the team will love to have come away from the winter break with another race win. We'll have to see how that goes. Norby now all over the back of Sascha Lenz, but he's being methodical about this. He's taking his time, winding it up gradually here. This is the thing with Norby. He makes his way through the pack so well in these reverse grid races, but he doesn't do it in a way of forcefulness and impatience. He just does it where he picks the right moment at the right time. He doesn't always push really, really hard. There is the shot from John Newell's truck down at turn 2. Andre Kurzim has made his way up past Mark Taylor and Stefan Fass, by the way. Taylor still leading in the Chrome category. Fass in second, and then Jose Eduardo Rodriguez still holds on to third. He's in 9th place overall. Heinrich Clemens Hecker is in 10th. So he's on for an overall championship point. But you've got to think John Newell will be absolutely fuming with that one. I think maybe a bit of a racing incident, but we need to see it back at some point. I think John just ran a little bit wide, getting on the power out of turn 2, and then just as the back end caught, here you go, look. So they're together. Jose Eduardo is, to be fair, Jose Eduardo was the one that sort of kicked the back end out as he ran wide. And then as the truck gripped up and was pointed to the left, it just pushed into that right rear of John Newell's machine. And with no weight over the rear end, there wasn't really anything John could do, unfortunately, to stop that thing spinning. I think it was a culmination of things. He ran a little bit wide through turn 2. Jose Eduardo was then, as a result, pushed wide. And then in getting on the power and losing the back end slightly, that's what pushed him back into John. So it was a bit of a domino effect, unfortunately. You never like to see it. Hopefully it will be looked at, but we'll see. For the top 5 on your screen just there, Antonio Albacete leaves shot, but he leads from Jochen Hahn, Steffi Halm, Sascha Lenz and Norbert Kiss. Andre Kurzim in 6th position at the moment is a few seconds off the back of this battle, but he's also gaining time over Mark Taylor as well, who's not got a big gap over Stefan Fass. He too has Jose Eduardo Rodriguez right behind. Clemens Hecker in the picture there as well. So the chrome podium definitely not sorted out yet. Faas, Rodriguez and Hecker could all swap around in the near future. We'll have to wait and see. Mark Taylor just needs to keep his cool, keep his eyes on the road ahead with Andre Kurzim. Here is that battle at the front of the class, and to be fair, when you look at the numbers, it looks like there's going to be much more of a gap than that. That is the top 4 in chrome, all right together. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez wanting to make the most of this now, having to recover through the field. It's Taylor, Faas, Rodriguez, Hecker, and what's left of the front of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez's truck, but the trucks don't really rely too much on the aerodynamics on the front, so that's not going to cause a big issue. They do rely, though, on 100% renewable HVO diesel that powers them all, of course. You won't see any black smoke coming out of our trucks in this championship. It's all very clean stuff. And there are even observers around the circuit as well that keep an eye out for any black smoke that may be kicked out or any emissions that don't align with the sustainability methods of the championship. We've had a few penalty markers knocked over around the circuit. If you knock over 3 of them or you go outside of track limits 3 times, you will get a drive-through penalty. You can also get 10-second penalties on top as well, depending on the severity of where you've taken the track limits into your own hands. Mark Taylor has been warned for the penalty marker at turn 2. I think that might have been from the very start of the race because he did have to skip across the inside of the chicane. Henrik Clemens Hecker has had a warning as well for the penalty marker at turn 10, which is right at the bottom of the hill at the hairpin. Steffi Halm still in front of Sascha Lenz, much like she was for the majority of the earlier race today. We're now on lap 4, heading on to lap 5 of the race. 4 laps completed is what the top left signifies. You can see, look, they're all fanning out to make sure they're not in each other's slipstream and following in the hot air. It's not necessarily to make a move down the inside by Sascha Lenz. I think Sascha's going to be a little bit hesitant here, because if he goes for a move and it doesn't work straight away here, Norbert Kish is going to go past him. Norby's just waiting for the opportunity. He knows that Sascha is trying to get past Steffi and wants to make the move. But it very much could be that Norby could wait for the right moment here and get past both of them at the same time. We've seen him do it before. It was actually here. I was going to mention it in the earlier stream today, but there was a moment last season. Look, there it is. There's the opportunism. Sascha had to get out of the way there to not make contact with Steffi. Norby puts his nose down the inside and says, yeah, go on then, I'll have a bit of that. Tries to get the move done. Doesn't quite work out this time round. But he's just waiting for it. Absolutely waiting for it. And they said Weddy and rating for it. But look, he closes up loads there through turn 13. Through the right-hander. That is apparently turn 14 there. It gradually curves to the left-hand side. And this is the right, down the hill under the huge Orland Bridge. Sascha Lenz, in the meantime, has just had a penalty marker warning as well for turn 2. But yeah, it was here a few seasons ago. I think it was 2022, when Norbert Kish had a fantastic cutback out of the first chicane. I think it was Sascha Lenz and Antonio Albacete that he overtook. They were battling in front of him, and he just got a really good cutback out of turn 2 and disappeared off down the road. But he's putting his nose down the inside here and there, just making his intentions clear. He's sort of pulled Sascha away from Steffi here and is now thinking, right, I need to get past him, then I can work on chasing Steffi. He doesn't want to sit and wait behind Sascha for him to catch back up to the number 44 Iveco. We're on to lap 6 out of 11 now, moving into the second half of the race. And it's still Antonio Albacete leading the way. 2 seconds back to Jochen Hahn. And then there's a good 3.8 seconds to Steffi Halm in third position. Sascha Lenz right there in fourth. Norbert Kish very close behind in fifth. Good battle so far. This a great chase. You can see the trucks wiggling around on the brakes there. Remember a few seasons ago we had a big engine failure down there for Antonio Albacete. I believe a piston just went through the top of the engine. There was a large oil fire that very quickly went out on the way into the gravel, but Antonio just stopped the truck as soon as he could. It was a scary looking moment. He'll be trying to put at bay the memories of that right now, leading the race here. He knows he's got Jochen chasing him down, though. Jochen's taken another few tenths of a second out of him on this lap. It's now down to 1.6. But this is the battle at hand. Sascha Lenz having to defend from Norbert Kish. The two of them have been fighting together for many, many years now in truck racing. They know each other very well. They always have a lot of fun on the podiums as well. They've shared many of them together this season. They both want to share another one together, but Steffi Halm is in front, and only one of them can get up on that podium at her expense. And we're going to go back down into the pit lane, I'm told, because Christina has found John Newell to have a quick word with us.
Absolutely. Good news is he's fine, and also good news he was been watching our live stream. That's also very nice and kind of you, but we wanted to see you competing. What happened? We saw contact from outside. How was it from inside?
I didn't know exactly what happened at first, but now I've just watched it back. It's I come through turn 2, and then Jose clipped me back end and just kept the power on and just pushed me straight through into the gravel, and that was the end of the race. Any idea how severe the damages are on the truck? It doesn't look too bad. I think the back tyre's gone, a water tank and front bumpers and stuff, but they'll get it fixed.
So as you can see, the safety standards are very, very high. This is also good news. And also the truck is kind of safe in the gravel right now. Or are you keeping your fingers crossed, and every time they're passing by you say, please don't touch it again? Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. So there's no more damage. We don't need any more. We hope to see you then on Sunday back in good mood. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Thank you, Christina, and cheers to John as well for having a quick word with us there. Good to see that he's all right. Not necessarily the biggest crash we've ever seen, but still, it can shake them up. These are still 5-ton machines at the end of the day, and they do spin around rather quickly. And like John said there, it didn't look like the damage was that severe. Just a lot of the pressure on the right-hand side there definitely wrote the tyre off, that's for sure. He'll be knocking on the door of Goodyear for a new one. Javier Martin will sort him out, I'm sure. Send the invoice to Davide Califano. We've got the environmental accreditation. The 3-star environmental accreditation award this year has the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, and it's been great to work with brands like Goodyear to make that happen as well. Goodyear have a fantastic retreading initiative behind their tyres, so all the tyres that you see used in the race here, they go back to Goodyear at the factory and they get retreaded for road use on road trucks as well, which is oh so cool. So many of the trucks that you and I see on the road may be using tyres that have been retreaded from the race trucks that you watch here today. As down the inside goes Norbert Kish into turn 20, decides to go late on the brakes, makes the move on Sascha, gives him enough room-ish, I'd say, on the exit there. Very feisty stuff from him. They head round the final corner, and Sascha tries to get the run back, moves to the right-hand side, then dives to the left. And then they're flat on the power until they get to 100 miles an hour down the start-finish straight. Is Sascha going to try and go late on the brakes here around the outside? I think he might do, because if you get the outside here, you'll have the inside for turn 2. But we know Norby can brake as late as the best of them, and he has gone through into 4th position. We're on lap 8 out of 11, so there's not long left to go now. Steffi Halm will be watching the mirrors and knowing that Norby is on his way to try and make the move. The Iveco almost sprinting away over the hill. I love that shot as they head down towards this tight and twisty section at the bottom. Steffi moves it through the left and then the right. Turns 6 and 7 first off. And then 8, and then the left kink at 9. Then you straighten the truck as quickly as you can onto the brakes into turn 10. And then on the exit, once again, smooth on the power and up through the gears there is oh so important. Back down the hill they go towards turn 13. There's Andre Kurzim, still very much on his own at the moment. And there is the Chrome lead battle. Mark Taylor ahead of Stefan Faas and still Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. Mark earlier today took his first win of the season in the Chrome class from pole positioning class as well. He'll be really happy to get that again and get 2 on the bounce here at Most. That will really help his championship charge. Not as many points in the 2nd and 4th races of the weekend, You only get 10 points for the win, and then it's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the top 10 score points, but it's only 1 point less per position. Whereas in the first race and the third race of the weekend, you get 20 for a win and then 15 for second place. So that position difference alone can score you 5 points over any of your rivals. As Norbert Kish now looks down the inside of Steffi Halm, wants to add another podium to the list for this season. Nearly contact as they make it through the exit of the corner. Very, very close side by side. They both reach 160 kilometres an hour, then down the start-finish straight onto lap 9 out of 11 here at Autodrom Most. Norby's going to go as late as he dares on the brakes, a little bit later than Steffi, I think. Gets it stopped at the apex and he's in front. Steffi then makes sure that she slots in front of Sasha Lenz. Doesn't lose out on 2 positions on this occasion. But Norby now up to third, behind Antonio Albacete and Jochen Hahn. Jochen 1.4 seconds back, now 1.1 seconds back from our race leader. He's been really catching. A couple of tenths a lap at the moment. But Norby gets himself back onto a podium, which will be his 17th of the season out of 18 races. Can you believe that? Sasha Lenz now. He's inspired again to try and have another go at Steffi. He's hoping that Steffi will still be a little bit rattled from the move from Norby and that he can take advantage and get through. But Norbert Kish opening up a slight gap now already of about 4 to 5 tenths of a second through that sector of the circuit. And the stewards will be looking at the incident between John Newell and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, as you saw there at the top of your screen. So that will be looked at after the race. Don't think that will be determined during the race itself. So we'll bring you an update on that tomorrow morning when we get the qualifying session underway. But here are our race leaders. Antonio Albacete now not too far ahead of Jochen Hahn, only 1.1 seconds. And he's still got 2 laps to go. One day I'll learn to count, everybody, I promise. Antonio Albacete about to complete lap 9 out of 11. For those of you confused, the ticker in the top left tells us how many laps have been completed. It goes off that data instead of what lap we're on. So now we're going to the penultimate lap of the race here, round 18 of the 2024 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Sasha Lenz moves all the way over to the right-hand side there to try and get as much cool air in the front of that truck as possible. The trucks themselves have water-cooled brakes as well. They have water jets onto the brakes. You'll see steam coming from the front tyres sometimes as they leave the corner. The brakes then get cooled on the exit very actively. They also have water jets on the intercoolers and radiators as well while they're driving. And this is the Steffi Halm Sasha Lenz battle, round 2 of what we saw earlier. They had a good old scrap in the earlier race. Sasha eventually finishing in 3rd place on the road. Norby has opened up enough of a gap now, but I don't think will catch up with Jochen Hahn and Albacete. We know how fast Norby is, but he's got a good 5.2 seconds to make up in 1 lap over Jochen Hahn here if he wants to even have a go at making a move. It's still Mark Taylor, 7th overall, by the way, leading in the Chrome class, and he's got a bit more daylight between himself and Stefan Fast at this moment. Stefan's having to defend from Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. So Mark could be on for back-to-back victories here. You could hear tyres squealing for a moment there, and it was this man, Jochen Hahn, really kicking that rear end out as he went through the right-hander at turn 17. And this is the Chrome lead battle. Taylor, Fast, Rodriguez, and then Hecker not too far behind them as well. He's on for an individual championship point, an overall championship point. At this point, he'll score 7 points for the Chrome category. Antonio Albacete then round the final corner to start the last lap of this race in the gorgeous sunshine here at Most. Jochen Hahn has been warned for that penalty marker down at turn 17, I'm told. So he needs to be careful as it goes on. It's not been much argy-bargy during this race so far, except for that moment at the very, very first corner, but all the drivers have been having fun, it seems. Been having some good battles in the mid-pack. Antonio Albacete, I'd say, has less than a second now back to Jochen Hahn. The timing will update as they cross the beam in that first sector. It was 1.084 the last time we checked it. Just keep your eye on those numbers on the left-hand side. See if that changes as they leave and head back down the hill. Leave turn 10, that is. Well, Antonio, many years of racing behind him. He's an absolute legend in Spain. He's a legend all over Europe, to be fair, is Antonio. He's such a lovely guy as well. Always very smiley, very happy. Chased down by the wise racer that is Jochen Hahn. He's always got a fantastic answer for everything in all of his interviews. He's got a great... Both of them have got just a great perspective on motorsport and racing. They've been doing this together for so many years. Antonio Albacete, a 3-time champion of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Jochen Hahn, a 6-time champion. Between them, they've got over 100 pole positions, over 200 race wins, almost 1,000, well, actually, no, way over 1,000 race starts between the pair of them. And they are going to come through to be first and second in this one. Well, he won the 4th race of the day at the Nürburgring before the summer break. He's going to get it done a bit earlier this weekend here at Most. Antonio Albacete wins round 18 of the championship, with Jochen Hahn taking his second place of the day. 3rd place going the way of Norbert Kisch for Reveche Racing, and Steffi Halm gets a 4th place finish. Sascha Lenz in 5th. Next up will be Andre Kurzim. He's going to come home in 6th place, and Mark Taylor is going to take his 2nd victory of the day in the Chrome class. Well done to him, ahead of Stefan Faas and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. Brilliant stuff for Mark. Well done to the other podium finishers, Faas and Rodriguez. Clemens Hecker finishes in 10th place, and he gets a championship point for his trouble as well. What a great race that was. Plenty of entertainment there. But Antonio Albacete taking his 2nd win of the season. Jochen Hahn pulls up alongside, probably gives him a big thumbs up out of the window to say well done to his old sparring partner. 17 podiums so far this season for Norbert Kisch, 15 for Jochen Hahn, and that is Antonio Albacete's 5th podium appearance this season and his 2nd race win. Maybe get a little bit of drifting from them here, I'm not quite sure, we'll have to wait and see. But maybe with the temperatures at the moment, that might be kind of difficult, because it is very, very hot down there on the ground at Most. Excuse me. But Norbert Kisch back on the podium again. And he'll be pleased to at least get those points out of this race. Good drive through the order. And there is your Chrome category winner, Mark Taylor. What a great weekend those boys are having so far. He wins the category ahead of Stefan Faas and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, who once again recovers after that earlier incident to still get some overall championship points and, of course, points in the category. They are the top 3 in the championship as well on that side of the board at the moment. Heinrich Clemens Hecker gets 7 points for his charge. 6 points going the way of Louis Riquenco, and then 5 for Bradley Smith, who completes the race. John Newell, unfortunately, out after starting from the very front row. He'll be a bit gutted with that one. But he will be back, and they'll be prepared and ready to go for race day number 2. There is the truck being taken back. You can see that the tyre actually on the right rear seems okay, but I think maybe it's just been ground down on the right-hand side. I think the wheel has taken a bit of a dint as well. The rest of it is just the fiberglass bodywork, which often gets repaired in the truck racing between races anyway. There's Antonio Albacete making his way around the corner. It'll be a very popular victory, that one, as it was at the Nürburgring. He wins by just over 0.8 of a second from Jochen Hahn, and Norbert Kisch will join them on the podium once again. Steffi Halm finishes in 4th place ahead of Sascha Lenz, another great scrap between those, and then Andre Kurzim in 6th. Mark Taylor wins in the Chrome category in 7th overall. Stefan Faas is 8th ahead of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, and Heinrich Clemens Hecker completes the top 10 and gets an overall championship point and a good haul for his chrome charge. We then get Louis Riquenco in 11th place. I think he lost out at the very start. And then Bradley Smith, more points for him and Don't Touch Racing as he continues to gain experience working with those guys in the number 33 truck. We'll have a look at the chrome results separately as well, just so we've got that one listed for you all. And it's Mark Taylor taking it by just under 1.2 seconds from Stefan Fass, who continues to try and carry on this charge behind Jose Eduardo Rodriguez in the championship. Jose Eduardo himself finishing in third. Heinrich Clementecker fourth. Louis Riquenco and Bradley Smith complete the 6 chrome drivers in that race. Unfortunately, John Newell not on the board after not making it round the first lap. We'll head down into the paddock and see the trucks coming in just a second's time. They'll all return to their awnings as we wait for Mark Taylor to be guided into the paddock there by Janine Meyer. And all the trucks lined up beautifully there as race winner Antonio Albacete emerges from the number 23 machine. And he's going to have a quick chat in a second, I believe, with Christina. He gets congratulated by Tim Frost, by Alex as well. All the guys there to say well done. Casino even down there as well to say well done. Brilliant stuff. Well done to Antonio. His second win in as many race meetings. And that'll give the team a big, big confidence boost for the remainder of the weekend. They can go away to the awning this evening, get to work on the truck, get everything prepared, and be ready for Sunday's qualifying and 2 races. They'll come around very, very quickly indeed, as Mark Taylor, the winner of the Chrome class, makes his way out of the number 81 MAN. And he'll be greeted by the team. I was talking to his dad, Alan, earlier today. Very, very happy bloke indeed after that. And you can see a big smile on Mark's face. More big championship points for him and the team. Lovely to see such a great relationship between drivers and their teams. There's Fleischi as well, the superstar that is. And Janine just saying, we need to get you over to the podium and over that way, sunshine. Media duties aren't done yet. Now let's head back down into the paddock, shall we, to see Christina, who's going to have a chat with Jochen Hahn.
Second time, second place for Jochen Hahn. How's that weekend going on for you?
Yeah, 2 in the time practice, 2 in the first race, 2 in the second race. Now, happy and unhappy. So we have, it's a mistake from some drivers on the start, on the first chicane, every year. Sometimes in one race it's something there. Today it happens, and I'm very lucky to. I found a way without crash and without contact. Happy, second place. It's 1 or 2 laps. I need more to close the gap to Antonio. He's too far away after I overtake Steffi. Happy, really happy. Now we analyze and ask me. But for tomorrow, second and second, I sign. So from this side, I'm very happy.
But I'm still asking you one more question because you're answering them all. No, I'm just kidding. Because the teams are testing here at Most, and this is so interesting to see. What do you say about the level of the sports right now on this Saturday? Because do you see a different approach maybe from the drivers because you know the racetrack so well?
No, and the truth is the testing in the beginning of the year have nothing to do with today. We have completely different conditions. The track, in the season we improve the track, we improve the technique. So from this side we have a complete different basic to come here, and the setup is completely different. But anyway, I love the track. I'm 25 years racing there with testing. I think it's 60 or 70 times I drive this track. I love it, and I'm very happy with second place on the podium.
Absolutely, enjoy the podium. Thank you very much.
Great stuff from Jochen Hahn. Like I said in the race, he's always got a very good answer for everything, bless him. But he's one of the most experienced drivers on the grid. He's been doing this a long old time, and he certainly knows his way around this place. And you could see it there. He was really on the pace and chasing down Antonio Albacete for that race victory. But Antonio got there in the end, and it'll be great to see his big beaming smile up there on the podium in just a moment's time. Let's head back down, though, to Christina, who's got another interview for us.
I knew that someone will come faster, even Jochen or even Norbert. So the plan was from the beginning full, So I did the whole race full. It was very difficult because it was by the middle of the race, it was very easy to make a small mistake, and then you lose half a second. So I have 2 times I lose 3 tenths, probably, but I saw that Jochen also has, he was pushing very hard, and he have a little bit of problems also. But yeah, I mean, I'm very happy because the track is being very good, and at least this morning we have yesterday we have a bad qualifying, this morning we have bad luck, and now we have a win, so I'm happy for the team and for the whole sponsors.
Absolutely. We're going to take the steps downstairs. Okay. But as you said, it is first day in the books, and this is so interesting to see the reverse grid, because you ended up on P8 after the first race, and right now you take the victory home. So isn't that the craziness of this sport?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's good, you know, at least. Yeah, I mean, I fight this morning when I see in 8th place, I said, okay, I keep here, you know, I mean, I probably could finish 6th, but I'm not fighting now just with Sacha for the 3rd place, but I was happy to try to give the team another win, you know, so I keep in 8th place, and this is the good things of the reverse grid, you know, that you can make, you have bad luck, and then you can make a good day at the end, so we see.
Absolutely. As you can see, we're taking the sneak way here to the podium. And one more small tip from me, because the trophy is very, very special. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And it also is kind of a shield for the champagne. Just a small tip from me. You will see.
Okay, so I don't know.
You didn't see the trophy yet?
No, yet. No, I didn't see the trophy, so it will be a surprise, you know. Yeah, I didn't see the trophies.
You will see what I meant. Okay. Have good fun there.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks.
Over there. And we're going to the podium as well with our commentators.
Cracking stuff. Yes, very good tip actually, Christina. Fair play. I didn't think of it that way, to be honest, but maybe the shower door thing will come in handy anyway, because he may end up getting a champagne shower at this point, will Antonio Albacete, as the drivers make their way to the podium for the presentation for the 18th race here in 2024. I can't believe we've already got 18 of them done with. It's pretty crazy how quickly that's all come about. But still, the season flies by every year. They do say time flies when you're having fun. We always have a great time with the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. And I'm really looking forward to just seeing the positive vibes that we always get up on the podium as the drivers enjoy themselves and make sure that they make the most of these moments with their colleagues and competitors. So first up, we will have the overall podium. The Titan class drivers make their way up. It'll be Norbert Kish going up first with his 3rd place finish, his 17th podium of the year. And as you can see, a number of the fans all making their way over to congratulate them and see them. And you can bet that a lot of the drivers will end up soaked in champagne this time. That's one of the benefits of races 2 and 4. They've got a lot longer to dry the overalls out and get them cleaned, so the smell of champagne remains over the evening for everybody. Great conditions though here today at Most. It's been lovely to see it. One of the exciting factors of this circuit is that we always get very different weather whenever we come here. We've never had one quite as hot as this in the last few years anyway, so it's lovely to see that come our way. You never know though, we could all wake up tomorrow and it be absolutely bucketing it down. It's just what it does here in Czechia. We've had it before where a race weekend can look like it's going to be very sunny, and then by the Saturday afternoon it's absolutely leathered it down. So 3rd place announced, and Norbert Kish makes his way up to the podium. Another podium for Norby on this incredible run. He's used to the middle step of the podium, not the other two. Gives the crowd a wave. A big handshake to Jochen Hahn, who finishes in 2nd place. Great charge by Jochen in that race to chase down Antonio Albacete, but he didn't quite get it done. Antonio takes another victory in what's been a glistening career for the Spanish legend. Very wholesome racing driver to have in your series is Antonio. He and the team are always in it for the right reasons. Always great to work alongside. Norby with the 3rd place trophy. Holds it aloft to all of the fans and the media. Jochen Hahn receives his trophy for 2nd place. His 2nd one of the day as well. And then the winning driver Listen to the cheer for Antonio Albacete. The Spaniard adds another one to the tally here in 2024. And now we'll have the Spanish national anthem for our race winner, Antonio. Apologies if you don't quite hear that come through from our end, just based on where the microphone is with it that far away. We won't always get the volume of it from the start-finish straight, but Antonio Albacete takes the win. The guys will pose on the top step for pictures. And between them, I daren't imagine the number of podiums that we're looking at there that these guys have scored before. I mean, before this season, Norbert Kiss had at least 200, Jochen Hahn had over 320, and Antonio had nearly 300 as well. If you gave it a few more years, you'd be closing in on nearly 1,000 podium finishes just between those three drivers that you see there. It's pretty remarkable, isn't it? And now, as I'm sure they will enjoy in the hot weather, it's going to be time for champagne. I think I think they'd agreed not to spray each other, but Norby and Antonio drench each other. Deservedly so, though, on a hot day like today. What's not to love? big smile on the face of Norbert Kirsch. He loves that. He loves it. A great feel-good atmosphere once again from the podium as we look at the championship standings. It is now Norbert Kirsch on 261 points to the 202 of Jochen Hahn. 149 points to Sascha Lenz, 139 to Antonio Albacete. He closes in a few more as a result of that race. 111 right now for Steffi Halm in 5th position, and then a tie between Andre Kurzim and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. 1 point between Lucas Hahn and Stefan Faas, with Mark Taylor on 37 points in 10th position. Behind them, John Newell in 25th. Heinrich Clemens Hecker now moves on to the qualifying sessions of the year before. There are other criteria based on the platinum and gold FIA driver categorizations as well, or if there's any sort of performances or achievements that put them amongst some of the Titan drivers. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez finished in 3rd in that one, in the Chrome class. Another podium for him, as I said before, his 13th podium of the season. Sorry, 14th podium of the season. 9 podiums for Mark Taylor and 2 wins. Stefan Faas now moves on to 11 podiums and 2 wins. Some great consistency at the top end of the order with these guys. But Mark is off to a brilliant start. You could say he's off the mark well for this weekend here in Czechia. He'll be over the moon with that, and the team will be really pleased after the summer break. Round of applause for Jose Eduardo Rodriguez and Stefan Faas, who receive their trophies for 3rd and 2nd. And then there will be a big cheer for our winner, Mark Taylor from Taylor's Truck Sport. And now we'll have the British national anthem for our race-winning driver. And there we go, the drivers will now make their way to the top step of the podium to have their pictures taken. And then in just a second's time, it will be time for champagne for each of them to enjoy. They don't tend to soak each other as much in the Chrome class, unfortunately, but they still enjoy themselves up there on the podium, and that's the main thing. Less washing to be done at the end of the day. And Mark Taylor makes his way off the podium, accompanied by Stefan Fass and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. That completes the celebrations for this round of the championship, and this is how said championship looks after that round. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez on 212 points now. Only 5 points between Stefan Fass and Mark Taylor. That gap is coming down all of the time. John Newell in 4th place. Doesn't score in that one, unfortunately. Lucas Hahn still in 5th as Louis Requenco catches up. Same with Heinrich Clemens-Hecker. Luke Garrett, unfortunately, not here this weekend. Bradley Smith in 9th on 28 points ahead of Jonathan Andre, who completes the top 10 drivers that have competed in the Chrome category so far this season. The sun sets on a day of racing here at Autodrom Most. It's been a brilliant day's racing as well. Lots of excitement, plenty going on. And don't forget, we will have 3 more broadcasts coming your way tomorrow. We have qualifying in the morning at 9:15 a.m. Just after midday, we will have the first race broadcast of the day, which will be 20 past 12. And then just before 4 o'clock local time, we should have the final race of the day. Subject to any delays, of course, there are other championships sharing the circuit with us over the course of the weekend. But we will do our best to make sure that things are kept on time. I'm going to say goodbye for now, though. Thank you very much for watching today, everybody, and I will speak to you tomorrow. We're going to hand back down to Christina.
And I do have a déjà vu over here. Congratulations. Podium again, another trophy. Then how do you feel after that?
I feel brilliant. The weekend's just getting better and better for all us and the team. It shows that we're all putting the effort in and it's all paying off for us.
Absolutely. What was key to this race win for you?
Just keep on the track, try not get in any trouble, and just hopefully just have a clean race, and that's all you can hope for.
So you really developed also as a team, you said, and also you developed from last year. You compared it and you had the images in the mind. Overwritten right now with what?
Oh, you have to forget about last year. That's all done in the past. You've got to keep moving forward. And like I say, I can't thank the team enough for getting me pushed forward and the truck on form. And yeah, we're all happy.
Yeah. How do you get back to the paddock right now? By feet, or do you have any transport?
I'll go by feet.
You do?
Yeah.
So we may join you a couple of small steps. So this is just the first 2 races in the books right now. What can we expect from this weekend here at Most? Because I think you can feel that the atmosphere is very, very special.
Yeah, we're hoping for tomorrow to same again. A good qualifying in the morning and 2 good races, and just keep getting the points. That's all we want.
So qualifying is 9:45 tomorrow morning. It's early bird, maybe different conditions, but still very hot. How do you deal with the weather conditions?
You've just got to put up with it. You can't change it. So just plenty of water, try and keep in the shade, and just try and keep cool as much as you can.
It's really funny how all the teams are following us right now to the paddock over here. So what do you say especially about the paddock atmosphere here at Most?
It's good. It's brilliant. It opens your eyes up. Coming out into Europe, it's nice because you can talk to other teams and they'll come round and help you if you need help or any advice. It's good. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the One Truck family, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Okay. Have a safe trip then. Just over there, a couple of more meters.
Thank you.
And we do see you tomorrow morning for qualifying. And of course, that will define who's going to start from pole position then for race number 3 at this weekend. So really excited to see more race action. Please join us on our live streams and tell your friends that we are on YouTube, and of course, follow us on our social media channels. That was it, the first day from the Autodrome in Most. Legendary. It has been 2 epic battles we've seen, and there's yet more to come. And I will head down the paddock as well, and wishing you everything and all the best for you. See you tomorrow.